Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. A More Beautiful Question by Berger explores how asking better questions can unlock creativity, clarity, and meaningful change. Rather than treating questions as a preliminary step before real work begins, the book frames inquiry as a practical discipline and a powerful tool for innovation. Berger draws on widely discussed research and real-world examples from entrepreneurs, designers, educators, scientists, and changemakers to show how breakthrough ideas often start with a simple, well-aimed question. The central promise is not that questions replace answers, but that the right questions improve the quality of decisions, solutions, and lives. Readers are guided through ways to notice assumptions, challenge default thinking, and design questions that move from curiosity to action. The book is especially known for its emphasis on question formulation as a learnable skill, offering approachable frameworks that help readers turn vague uncertainty into focused exploration and forward momentum in work and personal life. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, why questions matter more than quick answers. The book argues that modern work and daily life reward speed and certainty, yet many of the most valuable outcomes come from pausing to question what seems obvious. A good question surfaces hidden assumptions, exposes gaps in understanding, and reframes a problem so new options appear. Berger positions inquiry as a mindset that balances humility and ambition. Humility to admit what you do not know, and ambition to believe a better approach exists. This topic explores why questions can be more catalytic than answers, especially in complex situations where standard solutions fail. When teams rush to answers, they often optimize the wrong goal or solve the wrong problem. By contrast, a disciplined questioning habit helps people define what success should look like, clarify constraints, and identify who the solution must serve. The book highlights that questioning is not merely critical or skeptical, it is constructive. It can strengthen relationships, improve leadership, and drive learning by inviting dialogue instead of debate. The broader point is that answers expire, but a strong question can keep generating insight over time, making inquiry a durable competitive advantage. Secondly, the three-phase approach, why, what if, and how, a key organizing framework often associated with the book is a progression from why to what if to how. The why stage is about understanding and diagnosis. It asks what is happening, why it matters, and which assumptions are shaping the current reality. This stage prevents premature solutioning and helps define the real problem. The what-if stage expands possibilities. It invites imagination, reversals, and alternative scenarios, making room for ideas that would be dismissed under conventional constraints. This is where creativity is deliberately cultivated, not left to chance. Finally, the how stage turns possibility into execution. It tests ideas, identifies resources, and breaks a concept into workable next steps. Berger emphasizes that powerful inquiry is both divergent and convergent. It opens up space, then narrows toward action. The framework is useful for individuals and groups because it offers a simple map for moving from curiosity to change without getting stuck in endless ideation. It also supports iteration. As experiments run into obstacles, new why questions emerge, leading to refined what-if options and improved how plans. The result is a repeatable method for turning better questions into better outcomes. Thirdly, overcoming the social and psychological barriers to asking, many people stop asking questions not because they lack curiosity, but because they learn that questioning can be risky. In school, at work, and in families, questions may be interpreted as ignorance, defiance, or inefficiency. The book examines how these pressures create a quiet form of self-censorship that limits learning and innovation. This topic focuses on the internal and external blockers that prevent inquiry, fear of looking unprepared, discomfort with uncertainty, organizational cultures that reward certainty, and group dynamics that punish dissent. Berger highlights that the ability to question is closely tied to confidence and permission. When leaders welcome questions, they reduce defensiveness and increase psychological safety, enabling better problem solving. The book also points to practical ways to ask without triggering resistance, such as using neutral language, separating questions from accusations, and framing inquiry around shared goals. Another barrier is cognitive habit. People rely on defaults and familiar narratives because it saves effort. Questioning interrupts that autopilot and requires deliberate attention. By recognizing these barriers, readers can build a personal practice of inquiry that is courageous, tactful, and consistent, even in environments that prefer easy answers. Fourthly, using questions to innovate products, services, and systems. Innovation is often portrayed as a sudden spark, but the book frames it as an inquiry-driven process. Better questions can reveal unmet needs, overlooked users, and assumptions embedded in existing systems. This topic explores how questioning supports design thinking, entrepreneurship, and strategic change. Instead of starting with a solution, the questioner starts with what is broken, inconvenient, or unjust, then asks why it persists and who it affects. From there, what if questions challenge constraints that may be historical rather than necessary? In business, this can mean reimagining customer experiences, pricing models, distribution, or partnerships. In public systems, it can mean questioning incentives, rules, and measurement methods that produce unintended outcomes. The book encourages readers to look for beautiful questions that are both ambitious and actionable, questions that point toward a better state while inviting experimentation. It also emphasizes learning from users and stakeholders by asking with empathy rather than assumption. When questions are used as an ongoing tool, innovation becomes less about heroic genius and more about a repeatable habit of curiosity, listening, reframing, and iterative testing that gradually produces breakthroughs. Lastly, making inquiry a daily practice in work and personal life beyond innovation, the book treats questioning as a life skill that improves decisions, relationships, and self-understanding. This topic centers on how readers can build routines that make inquiry automatic rather than occasional. At work, a questioning practice can improve meetings, planning, and feedback. Instead of status updates and defensiveness, teams can ask, what are we trying to achieve? What evidence do we have? What are we assuming? And what would success look like for the people we serve? In personal life, questions can help with priorities, habits, and identity. Asking what matters most, what am I avoiding, and what if I tried a different approach can prompt meaningful change without grand declarations. Berger also shows that questions can be used to learn faster by asking targeted questions before research, during conversations, and after outcomes to capture lessons. The emphasis is on quality over quantity. A small set of well-chosen questions can guide a week, a project, or a decision. Over time, inquiry becomes a compass. It helps people navigate uncertainty, resist shallow certainty, and keep growing through deliberate reflection and action. In conclusion, this book is best suited for readers who want to think more clearly and create change, entrepreneurs, managers, designers, educators, students, and anyone facing a career pivot or a complex decision. It is also valuable for people who feel stuck, not because they lack effort, but because they keep attacking problems with the same assumptions. By teaching inquiry as a practical discipline, the book can benefit daily life in concrete ways. It helps readers slow down at the right moments, define the real problem, and choose actions that match what they truly value. It can improve collaboration by making conversations less about defending positions and more about exploring possibilities. Compared with similar creativity or productivity books, the strength here is the focus on the question itself as the engine of progress. Instead of offering a single system to follow, it provides flexible frameworks that can be applied across industries and personal situations. The writing draws from broadly known examples and research, making the ideas memorable and easy to discuss with others. For buyers looking for a durable tool that improves decision-making, learning, and innovation, this book is worth owning and revisiting. If you would like to support Warren Berger, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.